Good morning, Michael.
Good to
So
see you again.
still, still no daylight saving, no,
No,
still
not.
daylight saving time
Yeah,
for you
yes. Yeah, it should be through the end of October. So yeah, I think one more.
next week.
Yeah,
My
I think one more. Yeah, next week will still be on the same time, and then it'll change. Um,
okay.
but yeah, there's supposed to be this bill that's gonna change that.
Anyway, if they
But
change it on your side, here in
mhm,
Europe, it will take another couple of years, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Now,
So,
of course, we've got some things we're trying to work out right now, like paying our government employees. But once we figure that out, let's freeze the times so that we don't do this anyway.
they are still in shutdown.
Yep, yep. Still in shutdown.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, politics.
Uh huh. Yeah. What you gonna do? Vote.
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna do.
good. Michael, last time you ended with the advice to use cursor,
Mm-hmm.
which was a little bit surprising to me because before you were talking about cursor, then we went to in your last
Kilo
bring your
code.
own game.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about kilo code,
Mm-hmm.
which you liked a lot. Then you came back to cursor about the plan mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then finally you
Yeah.
recommended cursor.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, let's go for cursor. But then I started thinking, I want. I don't think often. I'm trying. Um, but then I was trying to think, I want to develop in .NET MAUI,
Mm-hmm.
but .NET MAUI is still best developed in
In
Visual
Visual
Studio.
Studio, yeah.
Yeah, um, but
So you're
that's
thinking
another
Copilot?
surprise that Visual Studio, that all these AI tools are coming out for VS Code
Yeah.
because it's open source probably. So
Yep.
now Visual Studio 2026 is arriving,
Yes. Yes.
and
So
so I saw
yeah.
they are still focusing on GitHub Copilot.
Yes. Exactly. And in fact,
GitHub,
2026 is the GitHub Copilot. Let's do this right release.
mhm. And for example, they are also supporting in the Pro version of GitHub Copilot the Anthropics models,
Mm-hmm.
even the 4.5 of Claude Sonnet. So, what is your point of view there?
Yeah.
What dot Maui should I use for programming VS Code and have Visual Studio next to it to do the debugging, to do
Mm-hmm.
the emulators and all that stuff? Open both of them.
Yeah. So uh, my strategy up till now has been all of the AI in Visual Studio Code or a fork thereof, and then I also have Visual Studio open so that I can I can quickly build, run tests, see uh, see the XAML or the WPF layout, um, and that's worked pretty well for me. But yeah, 2026 that might change things a bit. So I haven't played with 2026 as much as I should have, and so I hear about all the wonderful things that are coming in GitHub Copilot. Um, but yeah, over the past couple of years, my GitHub Copilot usage has waned, and yeah, that really was replaced with RuCode and KiloCode. And I recommend Cursor because it is easy to get into. Um, KiloCode takes uh, KiloCode really works well once you already have kind of an established AI workflow, and then you can encode that workflow in KiloCode, and you know which modes to switch to at what time. Um, but yeah, Kilo Code is still more expensive than any of the other options. Uh, well, it's less expensive than root code because it's subsidized, but um, uh, so that was kind of the reasoning behind the recommendation of Cursor, is that it's easy to get into, and Visual Studio 2026 is not yet out. So, but once we get to play with 2026, then maybe that would be a better on ramp using Copilot. Um, but um,
So, if I understand well, the best strategy today would be to use Cursor and at the same time have Visual Studio 2022
mhm.
open for everything that is not available in Cursor.
Right, right. That would be
And
my
then
recommendation. Yeah.
once Visual Studio 26 becomes really
Hmm.
available, we can see what Copilot offers there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can play with 26 now if you want to give it a shot. It's probably at this point really close to the release, so I'm pretty sure it's a smooth operation. But
It's
I
it's,
haven't done it
it's an
myself.
insider preview, I think, right
Yes,
now.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And by
Okay.
insider now, it's easy to get into the insiders
Mm.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
used to be insiders was almost like MVP, but now it's like
Mm.
anybody can be an insider.
No, I was thinking, what, why is it so confusing? And it's changing so fast.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We just haven't figured it out yet. Um, if it wasn't changing this fast, then we would basically be stuck with what we had figured out before, and we won't be able to bring in what we've learned. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, the tools keep um, introducing new innovations and then copying each other when those innovations work. Um, so yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about, well, Windsurf had that for a long time. Yes, that's where we are.
Mm.
So play around with them, see what the features are. Um, so yeah, like for example, Windsurf has a feature called workflows, which
Mm.
is you know, a pre-baked set of instructions that uh, now when you're running it as a workflow, the Windsurf runtime keeps it on that set of steps. In Cursor, of course, you can create a markdown file that has a pre-baked set of instructions, but it's just going to give that to the LLM at the same time as your prompt. And who knows
Mm.
if the LLM is going to follow those instructions. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it gets tired after 3 steps and it says, "Okay, I'm done." But no, you didn't actually run the tests. Can you run the test now? Oh, let me run the test. Oh, they don't work. Yeah, keep going.
Perhaps we shouldn't say it to the artificial intelligence. We should call it she. He doesn't listen.
Yeah, I'm actually
No,
pretty.
no,
Yeah,
that's naughty. That's naughty.
yeah.
If my wife hears that,
Yeah, it's a good thing it's just us.
yeah, we give it to it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm actually pretty strict on it and not anthropomorphizing,
Mm.
because I've observed that people who anthropomorphize uh, AI don't get as good result as people who wait a minute, people who don't anthropomorphize AI get a better result than people who do. Um, and it really just boils down to the same phenomenon that you see with people who don't understand technology. It's like, oh, it must be in a bad mood, or it hasn't had its coffee, and they're talking about a website. And it's like, no,
Mm.
that's not true about websites, but there's a reason for that. So clear your cookies, try incognito mode, do all these things, and oh look, you got it fixed. Versus, ah, I
Mm.
just give up because um, that's a person, and it has quirks like people. It's like, no, AI does not have quirks like people. It has quirks like AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. No, I found quite a lot of nice documentation on the website of Cursor. Went through that, and then of course started asking questions.
Oh, good. So you put it in ask mode and asked about your source code, or what kind of questions?
No, no, read through the documentations and then went back to ChatGPT
Oh, okay.
to
Well,
ask about about all the environments.
uh-huh.
Um, that's a little bit where I fall back automatically
Hmm.
when it's not about code. Um, but so no AI for the code yet for the moment.
Hmm.
But so let's install Cursor then and use it next to Visual Studio,
Yeah.
and that
Yep. Yep.
should
Unless you want to
finally.
get Insider's preview and then play around with Copilot. So I think that's probably just uh, a couple of steps too far right now. Um, once you get to Visual Studio 26 and you're comfortable with that, then maybe you can transfer what you've learned about AI on Cursor to Copilot.
I think that's better
Hmm.
because otherwise I will start going asking again questions about.
Yeah.
Um, no, it's already complicated enough this way.
Hmm.
Let's do it this way, step by step.
Indeed. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And as far as on my side, I've been getting ready for the Code Launch World Championship. So we just finished Code Launch Latin America. Code Launch World Championship coming up in Dallas, Texas. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend it myself because I will be at the Pluralsight Author Summit. But um, still getting Launch Kings ready for Code Launch. So there's some.
And for when is that?
Yeah, that is. Let me get an exact date. I should have this at the top of mind. CodeLaunch.com, the 2025 World Championship, November 12th
Okay.
in Dallas, Texas at Gillies. That's
No.
a venue in downtown Dallas. They have music and they have live events, and it's a really nice space.
Yeah, but so at that moment you're not available probably that week.
And that's true, yes. And in fact, it's a 2 week road trip. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I will be unavailable. Um, so I'll be here next week, but not the 2 weeks after that.
Which is a very good coincidence
Oh,
because around 11, 12, 13, I will be in Belgium for a while, so I will not be available neither. So that's
very good.
because, good.
Hmm.
I saw that you checked in
Yeah.
a little bit code this week.
Yes, indeed. Yes, quite a bit going on. So let's do all the shares. Okay, I want to get that going and transition so everyone can see that. And then also set it so that you can see it. Share that screen. Okay. All right.
I, no,
Yeah,
I see the two of us again,
there we
but
go.
not. Yeah, there is the code.
Okay. All right. So where I am right now is Code Launch, and I am in the investor class branch. Uh, so, what is investor class all about? Let me show you. I'm going to go to the app and then Launch Kings, LAUNCH admin. We'll start here. So I'll do a clean install because I just pulled this code on this machine, and so of course things might not work. But um, for the World Championship, we have a set of investors who have created a separate pool of cash for the code launch finalists. So the there we go. So the at the event, so this is all sample data here. I'm just running in dev mode. So at the event, we'll add these access codes so that people can get access. And so the general access, there's a code that looks like that. That code just gets you to localhost, so it's not actually going to work for you. But I can use it, so I can. Well, I just downloaded the QR code here. I'll copy, and actually I can't use this because I'm just running dev mode of admin. Anyway, when I switched to the Docker configuration,
was there a World Championship last year already with Code
Yes, yes, there was.
Okay.
Yes,
That's why it's 2024.
right. Yes, yeah, and these were not the actual finalists, but yeah. So we've shared this QR code with the attendees, and they get the code launch experience or the Launch Kings experience. If we share this one, the investor class code, that's this one right here, little diamond in the middle. That gives them an enhanced Launch Kings experience, and their lightning round votes go into a separate pool. So then we'll be able to announce who is the general winner. So everyone who voted with this QR code, and who is the investors winner. And so the general winner gets a pool of cash from the from everybody who sponsors the event, and then the investors winner gets that pool of cash that the investors have contributed, and it could end up being the same finalist, but we shall see. So that's.
So these QR codes are for the participants at the event.
Yes. Yes, this
Why
is
they
the
don't?
one that we'll put on the screen so everybody can scan it at the same time. The at the same time part is a challenge. And then this is one that we'll print out and we'll have on the tables that the investors will be sitting at.
Okay, only the investors can choose their winner.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yes. So their votes for the lightning round are kept separate from the votes for the general audience. So if I come over here to the Launch Kings attendee application, make sure that that's installed. And I'll do run dev on that. So with this one, boom. So here's the attendee experience. So one of the other changes that we're making is we are asking for location information. So if you allow while visiting the site, then we can confirm that you are actually in the audience. So that is to dissuade folks from sending the QR code to their friends and have them vote if they're not actually at the event.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not an obligation.
You do have to be present in order to vote. That's the And so if it's not an obligation that you send us your location information, because there's no way that we can enforce that. But well, I guess we could enforce that. So yeah, we haven't decided to do this yet, but we could actually just disable voting if we don't have your location. So yeah, I'll talk with Jason about that if he wants to take it to that step. But nevertheless, we also are collecting IP addresses on the back end, so we can geolocate IP addresses. So you've got your finalist round, so you do your voting for which of these 3 finalists you want to advance to the lightning round, and everybody, including the investors, votes in the same pool for the finalist round. So we will always select the same 3 to move on to the lightning round. And then those 3 give their second pitch, and then the attendees vote again. So I'm going to switch back here and go to Janaga config in the attendee app. And here we will see some test data that I'm just loading into the in-memory store for the in developer mode. So if I bring in this, then we've closed the the first round. We have allocated the winner, selected those winners, and then opened the final round. So let's uncomment those, and now the experience shifts. And so now you, the finalist round is closed, and the lightning round is open. So it's during this, after these 3 have given their second pitch, that the audience and the investors will both allocate their 50,000 launch bucks to just one of them.
Okay.
And so we'll select a winner from the attendee pool, and we'll select a winner from the investor pool, and award the money. And then the champion is announced as the attendee champion, at least as far as the app goes. On stage, we're announcing both.
Yeah, and then the champion of the investors.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, that makes a lot of sense. An investor's device should see the investor champion right here. Yeah, that's that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that will not be a difficult thing to do. So yeah, been working on the on the model and the application changes for that, and so you can see that we've got part of that here. When you add the access code, it chooses general access or investor access. The layout is strange. Yeah. Need to fix that layout. Okay, but that's it's this whole thing is clickable. That's good. It's just that this is that's in the wrong place. Yeah, that was probably because of the last change that I asked the AI to make to the layout there. So how all of that works? Let's
probably
talk about that.
The text was after the radio button, and it shifted to the next line.
Yeah, let's take a look. All right, so this is the event details page, and we've got a modal, and so this is the access path modal. So yeah, create access path, attendee access type. So we've got our label.
Can we not ask AI to fix that?
Yep. Yes, indeed. So I'm trying to understand it a little bit and see if we can come up with the right thing. So I will also move our pictures so that we can see what I'm typing. So I want to go back to this one here, code and no share. Duplicate that and call that left side. Okay. Now I can slide these to the left. Okay. There. Now I can switch this back and forth. Good. Okay. So, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to take a screenshot. Alright. And then come in here and I will paste that screenshot. Now you've got an image in context, so it can see the image. And we can see that the radio button floats above the break line. Just do that. So this is this is the quick and dirty way of doing it. It's just in agent mode. I'm just telling it what's going on. This is kind of hit and miss. So I can see the issue. The radio buttons are using item center, which centers them vertically, causing them to float above. I need to change the alignment to item start. So it made those changes, and it should have hot reloaded in here. Let's see, I'm not seeing a hot reload. Let's just double check. Yeah, but I don't think it actually fixed it. No, it did not. So, yeah, that was hit and miss. Let's do this a little bit better this time. Rather than agent mode, we'll go to ask mode. And then I'll say, give me several reasons why this might be the case. And I'm going to continue and revert. So it's going to undo all of its changes that it made since that point. It's going to dump all of the input and output in the session from that point. So it's as if I had just gone back and typed this right the first time. So doing this in ask mode, and I told it to give me several reasons. So so this forces it to think through several options. So it's less likely to just pick one and stick with it. That does seem to be a problem with these things. So possible causes: flex item center with multi-line content, block level span inside of flex item, nested span structure with mixed display properties. I really have very little idea what these words mean. Missing item start alignment. So the recommended fix is to change item center to item start and align the radio button with the top of the text content rather than the center. All right, and then I'll continue since I'm not really sure.
But in such a case, is there a way that we can say, show me the result visually of every solution?
That would be cool. I don't believe so. In order for it to, well, not with the current set of tools we've got. In order to do that, it would need to make the change according to each one. So it would need to, kind of fork the timeline, and then have a kind of a separate branch or some way that it could
or apply and revert afterwards.
Yeah. So apply and revert, that's the that would be what we've got with the current tools. So we can see each one. So what I've done here is I've asked what evidence do you have that this is the right option. So I'll search for other radio button implementations in the code base. And so it wants to confirm to search Tailwind multi-line. So I'm going to auto search. I haven't seen that checkbox come up before, but it usually is able to just search the code base without prompting. Or maybe I checked it on my other machine a long time ago and didn't notice. So So yeah, this is one way that we can try to figure things out. Another technique that I've used at this point, when it's got several different options, is I've told it, you don't have enough information to make this choice. Search the web. And so that means, okay, I'm not going to rely upon my training set. I'm actually going to go out to the web. And that really helps when you're dealing with a library that changes versions. Um, yeah, I just ran into that with the OAuth Pixie library. Da-da-da. So it's making a compelling argument to somebody who is not an expert in CSS. And that's the danger of AI, is that it makes very compelling arguments to non-experts. But an expert might look at this and say, no, that's silly. So yeah, let's go ahead and try that. So implement the suggestion. And yeah, if it's not right, then we will roll it back. This sounds very similar to what it tried when I just did the one shot. Well, that looks different. Yeah, it changed from item center to item start. And just to make sure, it is running, yeah, the 3001. This is the, wait, that's attendee. Oh, wait a minute. 3000. Okay, I might be fooling myself that it's running on. Okay, so attendee is shut down. Good. Is this one shut down? Yes. All right. So let's go back to admin and run it again. And interesting. Not sure what that came from, but 3000. And somehow it went to 3001. That doesn't make any sense. Control click on 3000. Huh. Localhost 3000. Okay. Okay, well that's the same error that I'm seeing here. So at least at least I think I'm on the right place. All right. Let's just make sure that I've got everything. So JSON to CSV from CSV processor. So that looks like it doesn't have the packages installed. So I am going to create a brand new chat. We'll keep that one going, but now you've got over here this add to chat button. So now that becomes part of the context. And then again, I'll start with ask. What is the cause of this error? And I think it's got to do with not having a package installed, but I just did an npm CI. It's a straightforward missing npm dependency. Well, of course it is. Silly human. Just fix it. Okay. Well, I could say do it, but it already gave me the code here, so I'm just going to do it myself. So we've got LaunchKing's admin. We're going to do that. All right. And now, npm run dev again. It says we're on 3000. 3000. Reloads. Okay. All right. Now, let's get back to where we were. Add a code. All right. Still broken. Okay. So that means that this did not work for us. Now, we don't have to hit keep all in order to run this test, because it actually does save this file, and undo will revert the change and then save it again. So we don't want to hit keep all, because we want to be able to revert. So let's come back here, and I'll go all the way back up to here. So here's the recommended fix. So that was which option was that? Item center item start.
Yeah, it was the one that we.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which of the numbers it is. Okay, that was option 4 that it tried. So let's come back here and say try option 1 in agent mode, and we will continue and revert. So we're back to the item center. This is the attendee access type. Oh, wait a minute. That's the same change. Okay, so maybe that was option 1. It looked like option 4. Okay, well, come back here, try option 2. Continue and revert. So, it says, looking more carefully, I see something different. Having a block class on inner spans within the flex container can cause layout conflicts. So, okay. If you say so. So, you can see it's moving things around, and as it makes changes, you can see it does do the hot reload. Let's see if it makes a visible change. No. Okay, remove block, add a flex column. No, that didn't do it either. So try option 3. So we will continue and revert. We see that it reverted that change. I'm gonna see if we can see both at the same time. Yeah. Still, it's moving things, but...
And if we ask it the question, try every option one by one, show the result, and wait for us to acknowledge before the next.
Let's try that. Yeah. Try each option in turn. Wait for me to now I've found that that unless the tool does the iteration, the LLM itself tends not to be very good at iteration. But let's see. So it's going to do option 1, change center to start. Okay, I've changed. Please check this and see if it fixes the issue. Then it did not. Try the next one. And so we should be able to see it revert the code here. So it...
Not doing.
It's not reverting the code. It might be adding... Yeah, it's mixing the two now.
So we should instruct it each time, revert. Don't forget to revert before trying the next.
Okay. And so we'll see. I'll revert the changes back to the original code first. See if it's actually going to do that. Yeah, I did that. Okay. And now let's see. Now let me apply fix number 3. yeah, this is working better than I expected. Yeah, usually,
Really have to push
yeah,
it a little bit.
yeah, MT1. So it added a margin top of 1 unit.
Mm.
It's like, no. So that wasn't it. Gave it another try. Yeah, usually the tool vendors have to put this kind of iteration uh, into the system, and yeah, so far I don't think any of them have done the multiple choice, like try them all and see which one. Um, but yeah, uh, when Cursor introduces something like plans, it's because uh, people have, myself included, used Markdown as plans, just doing things manually, and then they said, well, if we put a little bit of a workflow around it, I won't use the word workflow because that's another feature in Windsurf, but if we put a little bit of code around that to drive the LLM more deterministically, then we can get better results than uh, just asking it to follow, asking the LLM to do that iteration. Um, so yeah, it looks like we are having a real hard time uh, with this. It might not even understand the problem. What I'm getting is that I'm seeing a lot of horizontal layout adjustments, but I'm not seeing any vertical. Well, it did do margin top, so it is trying to do something on the top side. Um, so yeah, I might need to actually go in there and fix this one myself. But yeah, but that's a really interesting workflow. I think that
You said
that is
found
good to
it.
know. Yeah, it always gets confident about
Mm. It's
when
always
yeah
enthusiastic.
yeah yeah that shows up in two places. When it thinks it's figured something out, oh yeah,
Mm.
completely wrong. um, but
Well,
then
it's on the same line. Um,
that is true. That is true.
yeah.
Okay, well
So it did what we asked for.
let's do boom. Radio button is on the same line, but now let's see. So yeah, I do want it to be flipped. Well, actually, that wouldn't be so bad if the text were right up against the radio button. Um,
Left
yeah.
alignment.
Let's see. So shrink down the width so that the text aligns more closely. All right, let's see if we can get that. Yeah, this is why it still pays to learn CSS. So you can just look through those and say, no, 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 not that.
Mm. This is even
Yeah,
worse.
even worse. Well, let's see. What is it trying to do? It's probably that the Flexbox, yeah, you have the Flexbox set up for the radio button to be on the right. Just start there with pointing it out. It already knows what the goal is. So see if it's able to change those. Because yeah, that left column looks like the width that it wants for a radio button. So let me add flex row to explicitly set the direction so the radio button appears on the left and text on the right. And it didn't make a difference. But we know what it just changed. It just changed flex row. Yeah. Yeah, and now we are just down to yelling at the LLM. So not a terribly effective way to do things. Ah, I see the issue. Yeah, I'm not confident that you do. Okay.
Ah,
It actually did that time.
yeah.
All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it did that with a bang important modifier on just about everything. Okay.
So for somebody who knows CSS well, he will find it out
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah, they would have looked through those first options and said, no, none of these are right. Okay. So I'm going to commit that. So what else have I got here? Okay, I've got that one. That's the real one that I want to commit. Well, first of all, let me commit this, because this was install missing packages. Well, in fact, I want to make sure I've got QR code styling. Which now I'm going to have to take a look. Why do I need a new package there? I thought I was using that all along. And then that one I don't need to commit. This one will be fix the modal layout for new attendee access code. Okay, and that was just setting up test data for the attendee application, which I don't need to keep. Okay, investor class, diamond. Very good. Well, that's going to be the first part to getting ready for oops, not that one. For the World Championship. Yeah. So, yeah, I needed to do a little bit of work on the attendee identity provider so that when you scan using one versus the other, it creates a fact that says, okay, that was an investor. And I want that to happen on the back end so that we've got security rules around it. So an attendee is not allowed to create that fact themselves, and they can't just make themselves an investor. They have to use the right QR code. And then I will have the calculation use the appropriate pool. So, yeah, should have that all ready to demo next time, because I've got to demo that to Jason so that he can say, yes, let's go forward with that. And then we will be ready to launch.
You still have 2 weeks to finish it.
Yeah, I really just have 1 week. I really just have this weekend, because I'll be going on the road trip the following week, and I want this to be nice and solid before I leave. On the last road trip, we actually did have some additional testing that we needed to do while I was on the road trip. So there were some nights that we got to the hotel, and then it's like, okay, let's try to fix this thing, and then we did a test from the next hotel room, and had to do that a couple of times until we said, okay, it's finally doing the right thing. And that was a Janaga bug that time, so it's like, okay, got that one.
I guess it's more convenient if you can solve that at home before you leave.
Yes, much more. Makes everybody much more relaxed and comfortable.
Because last time there was this issue with if everybody at the same time access the server. Was that
Yes.
solved?
There are a couple of things going on there. One is the size of the virtual machine. So it looks like what a lot of people were seeing was something from Nginx. Nginx got overloaded and then sent them back a gateway error, because I didn't see any errors in the log. It was either Nginx or it was Linode itself. So we're going to try an even bigger virtual machine. So I sized the virtual machine by running a load test that simulates the 1,000 people who are going to be who were at the Guadalajara event, all voting at the same time. And for the load test, each of those attendees logs in, but they don't log in all at the same time. The load test kind of feathers people in. So another thing that I'll do is I will change that load test so that it brings everybody in at the same time. See if that makes a difference. But then the second thing that was happening is the Pixie library that I'm using, the OAuth client-side library that uses PKCE. So with PKCE, you send your authentication request, and then with that you send a challenge code, and then when you get your response, you have to use the challenge code in order to turn that response back into an actual auth code. So it defends against the man in the middle, and it uses hashes in order to protect that challenge code. Anyway, if you scan twice, which might happen when Nginx is overloaded and it's taking a long time, so you scan, it opens up in the browser. Oh, this isn't working. Scan again. Then that second scan replaces your challenge code in your local storage. But meanwhile, the first one succeeds, and when you get back to the browser, the first one redirects, uses the second challenge code, and says, nope, bad challenge code. So that's not a use case that the client-side library was developed for. So I've actually forked the library, and I've made it store all of the challenge codes and associate them with the state parameter. So when you get back a response, it looks up the challenge code by state and says, okay, I'm going to use that one. So for the handful of people who did a rescan and got a failure for that reason, they will have a better experience.
Okay, but it means that the whole program is getting to its final release.
Yep. Yep. And the most exciting thing for me is that not just the Launch Kings program, but a lot of these things that I'm building for resiliency are things that I'm building into the identity providers and into the Janaga replicator, and so these are going to be available for any application built using these components. So yeah, and by the time I'm done, this will be a standard set of components. You can just take them off the shelf, build whatever app you want, and it's going to be resilient and reliable.
Okay.
That's the idea. And then you put that on a server with AI in front of it, and now, you know, and anybody who's got an idea, come explain your idea. Oh, I got you. I'm going to use these components,
Mm.
and I'm not going to, try to generate low-level code. I'm just going to use these existing components that have been proven. So the AI is not going to try to solve this problem over and over again. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Mhm.
That's coming.
Telephone ringing here.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Silent.
It is that time.
Yeah, it's already another hour over.
Yeah. Yeah, and
That
we did
was
some
that
live
was a
coding. That
nice
was kind of good.
that was a nice demonstration about AI. Um,
Yeah, some things to do right, a lot of things to do wrong.
mm,
So, yeah, this is why yelling at the AI is not the most effective way to go.
yeah, but you see, with the right way to give it instructions
Hmm.
and a lot of patience,
Yeah.
it arrives at the correct.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Uh,
Yeah. Especially if you give it those guardrails. Um,
mm,
then you can say, keep going until you've made this test pass. And then you wait until it stops. And you say, nope, keep going.
mm. Well, I'm gonna play with it myself now.
Alrighty.
Good. Then
Excellent.
we see each other
Yes.
next week.
Yes, we'll be here next week. And then
Okay.
I'll see if I can get something in the can for the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Next week, same timing. If ever the timing changes, just send a little message.
Yes, I'll be sure to do that.
Okay, Michael, thank you very much,
All right. Thanks,
and
Sean.
see you next week.
All right. See you
Bye bye.
then. Bye.